if you're an American tech entrepreneur, to move fast and break things.
Yeah.
If you're responsible for a community or for a platoon, then you've got to think about the most vulnerable in your society, and you've got to think about how that community works. But you've also got to remember that if you want to have resilience and innovation and ideas and change and challenge, that only works if you've got a dynamic within the community that prizes the individual, that doesn't treat people as a block or a group, but recognizing that an individual, a family, a community have their own dynamic and their own ability to innovate and to come up with ideas. And so that challenge of responsibility with individualism is, I think, for me, the fundamental of conservatism. And I think that's where, any good conservative government has constantly got to be asking itself, how do I trust people more? How do I make sure people are more in charge of their own lives, as it were? How do I give people the ability to determine their own future? But at the same time, how do I make sure that the safety net is there for those for whom, for one reason or another, the choices aren't available, or the result would be disastrous?
So there is such a thing as society?
Yes, there is. But it's not the same thing as the state. And that's the important difference. There is absolutely such a thing as society, and we live it. I mean, a university is a society, a family is a society, a church, a football club, a pub. There are many different ways in which we all interact with society. The state is something different. Now, the state is, has a place, right? I mean, I was a soldier, and I've always, in some way or another, had a very strong connection to the state. And the state really does have a role in protecting, in removing as much risk as possible, and enabling people to flourish. But the purpose of the state is not to command, but to serve. And the purpose of society is to provide the softer side of life, if you like, to provide that support that an individual can't do alone.